In a graveyard for the unknown, one volunteer works to honor the migrants and refugees he says the world has forgotten.
I feel like these people didn't have a family, so I want to be a family for them, because they were persecuted in their countries.
Chamseddine Marzoug tells us it was their suffering that compelled so many desperate people to try and cross into Europe from Libya. But the Mediterranean didn't deliver them to safety. When their bodies washed ashore here in Zarzis, Tunisia, Chamseddine tried to give them the peace he says they deserved all along.
When we found a woman with a child, I thought to myself, maybe he is her son. The medical report said he was 5 years old. I wanted to provide them with dignity in death in a symbolic way. Because a mother is always with her children in life, I buried them head to head.
A few small toys sit atop the grave of the boy. Chamseddine placed them there for a child he says should never have experienced such horror.
I have 2 sons who illegally migrated from Tunisia to Europe. Maybe the work I'm doing for the dead helped them in some way. Maybe the spirits of the dead prayed for them to reach Europe safely.
Chamseddine, a former fisherman and sometime taxi driver, has been volunteering with the Tunisian Red Crescent since well before the current migration crisis. He says he's buried hundreds of people in the past decade. Last year alone, he dug 76 graves. This small fishing town in southeastern Tunisia sits only about 80 kilometers from the country's border with Libya, which is a major gateway for migrants and refugees from Africa and the Middle East who are trying to reach Europe. Of all the things Chamseddine has witnessed on this beach, nothing was as bad as what he encountered one day in 2014.
I saw the body of a lady who was attached to her son with a rope, and another who had attached her son to a piece of wood, and the waves were playing with them, men, women, children, as young as 9 and 10. That scene is burned in my mind.
Back in the cemetery, Chamseddine keeps the site as clean as he can. He and other volunteers are raising money to buy another plot of land that can be turned into a proper resting place. But the economic problems in Tunisia have made that very difficult. In a place that continues to receive the dead, they don't even have the money and equipment to collect DNA. Which means that in a graveyard where the name of only one deceased migrant is known, most of the graves will, for the time being at least, remain anonymous. Mohammed, Jamjoom, Jazeera, Zarzis, Tunisia.